So you're interested in hiring a graphic designer, but you don't know where to start, you don't know where to look, you don't know how to hire them, set the expectations, and even what to look for in a graphic designer. I'm gonna cover all that in today's video. And so the first thing that I will tell you is when it comes to a graphic designer, you definitely have to understand that this is a much different personality than that of a normal person, right? So I have graphic design background, I have video background, and if you haven't already, make sure you do check out a previous video I've done on hiring a videographer / video editor, because these two are gonna play very well with each other because you're gonna essentially need both if you're building out a content marketing team. But today's video is specifically about graphic design. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to managing and dealing with graphic designers, you gotta remember that you're dealing with more of the right side of the brain, which means that you're dealing with creative people. A lot of times creative people have very big issues with meeting timelines, with meeting deadlines, and you say, I need this project done on this certain time, and then you get it 3 days later and you're bugging them and they're not communicating with you. These are the type of people that you're gonna be dealing with, and you have to be okay with that and understand it. It is a little bit of a different manner. Now, that being said, I would make sure that you have proper guidelines and expectations set, right? So I'll cover those things here, but I just wanna forewarn you, you are dealing with a different person, a creative person, somebody that does think a little bit differently than the logical side of life. And so you have to be okay with that when you're going into hiring a graphic designer. So where do you look for a graphic designer? I'm gonna give you one place because this one place will give you everything that you need. UPWORK. UPWORK is the #1 place that we use. Almost our entire team at Color Media is from UPWORK. We found them on UPWORK. And it's just a great place because I love the fact that they give you so much ability to see what people have done inside of UPWORK. So whether that was a portfolio that they've done of, if you know, for instance, a video editor has a portfolio of videos that they've edited or channels that they've managed or whatever. And then graphic designers are gonna have a lot of things that you'll be able to see from a graphic design standpoint that they've done in their career. You'll also get to see what their job success rate is. You'll get to see what amount of money that they've made on the platform, how long they've been on the platform. And it's a really good vetting process for you to not have to go with all these kinds of different personality tests and all that kind of stuff that is really, really challenging for a lot of people when it comes to the hiring process. So UPWORK is the place I would tell you to go look first for a graphic designer, because you're gonna be able to find somebody that fits your needs, depending on the salary that you're willing to pay them, the hours that you're giving them, and the specific needs that you're looking for. So for me, for instance, we have 2 graphic designers, and both of these people literally are just creating social media posts on a daily basis. That's their core job, is to actually create graphics that are gonna go on social media for our clients. And so they have a very set guideline and specific expectations that they have to meet on a weekly basis, but also with their job description. Now, that being said, there's a few things that I wanna lay out here for you to understand when it comes to making sure that you have the right person in the right seat for your graphic design team. Now, the first thing I'll tell you is, #1, do you need a graphic designer on your team, or can you outsource? Because here's the thing, if you don't have consistent work for a graphic designer, chances are they're gonna be working with somebody else as well. So if they're working 10 hours a week with you, they gotta fill that other time somehow. So they're probably working 30 to 40 hours a week somewhere else, or between 2 or 3 clients. The challenge with this, I found, and we've dealt with in the past, is that they get pulled in many different directions. And again, you're dealing with the right brain type of person, which is not a bad thing. I'm a right brain type of person, but if you get pulled in too many different directions, their focus is diverted in different areas. And a lot of times you might get put on the back burner, especially if you're not the client that pays the most or gives the most hours. So you have to be very cognizant of that and allow your graphic designer to be open with that. So that being said, I would recommend that if you're not giving a graphic designer more than 15 hours a week, I would just outsource the projects. And the place I would outsource would be FIVERR. So FIVERR is a great place to get good graphic design work done. I use FIVERR on almost a daily basis now for very odds and ends projects that aren't things that are daily tasks within the team. And a lot of that is graphic design work. For instance, a lot of the YouTube thumbnails that we use for clients, for me, we do that through FIVERR because we found a couple of really good graphic designers that deliver consistent, good results, and they do it fast and they get it to us on time. And we use those. So if you have a need for a graphic designer that's going to be on your team for a long period of time and you have consistent work for them, bring them on the team. But also don't be afraid to outsource it to where you only give it a project basis. So just be aware of those two things, because I know a lot of people are thinking like, I have to bring a graphic designer in-house. But if you don't have the consistent work for them, then it might be the wrong move for you. So that being said, let's get into a few things on what I would do to set the expectations and actually bring somebody on. The first thing I would do is give a project to them in the interviewing process. Give a project to your graphic designer, the person that is interested in the position, and just don't give a deadline. Just say, hey, I have this YouTube video, can you create a thumbnail for me? Give no deadlines, no expectations, and see what happens. If they don't communicate with you, if they don't get you the project done within, I would say 24 hours, then they're probably not a good fit, especially if it's an easy job like that. If they get it back to you in 5 days, then you're obviously not a priority. That's something that you're gonna be dealing with on a consistent basis if you bring them on the team. So that's the number one thing I would do. I said the same thing when hiring a video editor and a videographer. Do the same thing. I think that's a really good method to do it. And then also, make sure you get the portfolio from them. Take a look at their work, see if it's something that you are considering. Another thing that I would do that's really on you for your graphic designer is to give them examples. Give them examples of things that you like, but then also there's a fine line between them being the professional and you forcing your opinion on something. So for instance, I had one of my clients send me over a new video wrapper he went and designed for his videos. I gave him feedback and said, hey buddy, listen, I think this is a great video wrapper. I think it looks good, but it looks a little busy. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to take this video wrapper, we're going to change it a little bit, get it into alignment with what you're looking for, and then we send it back. He loved it, he thought it was great. And so that's something that you've got to be willing to negotiate with, right? So if you have a graphic designer, send them examples, send them things that you really like from a social media perspective, but then also allow them and encourage them to give feedback and give their professional expertise on that. Because remember, you're hiring them. You are not the graphic designer, and you have to be okay with that. Do not micromanage them, because you will throw them away very quickly if you do that. And then the last thing I would say, just from a general 1,000-foot view standpoint, is expectations. Proper expectations is gonna be a huge key when it comes to allowing your graphic designer to have the ammunition to make sure they get the job done right, they get it done on time, and get it to you on a consistent basis, and keep that performance level up all the time. If they don't have proper expectations, it's gonna be very hard for them to get things in on time, to get them to your liking, and you're gonna get frustrated, you're gonna let them go, and then go through the exact same process with another graphic designer you bring on the team. So these are things that you absolutely have to make sure that you set in advance before even bringing that person on the team. Write down all the things that you want done on a consistent basis, like say you want a social media graphic quote card designed for 2 a day. Make sure you write that down. So I want 2 quote cards designed every day for me, 7 days a week, so that's 14, and I want them done by every Friday at 5 o'clock. And you give that timeline, and you make sure that you hold them to that timeline, because if you break 1 or 2 times, they're gonna think that this is okay, then they're gonna start getting it to you on Saturday, then they're gonna start getting it to you on Sunday, and then Monday, and then you're now not having graphic design images for you to be able to post. So keep that in mind. Those are some things that I wanted to throw your way when hiring a graphic designer. Hopefully that did help and brought a little bit of value. I know that there's a lot of other things we could go into when it comes to this, but this is just a 1,000-foot view. So if you have any questions, I do have several links down in the description below to connect with me. So make sure you do check those out and go follow me on all the social media platforms. And also, if you want to, there's a 1-hour consultation that you could schedule with me. It's that first link down in the description. If you got value out of this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Leave a subscribe on that subscribe button. I said that weird, but that gets the point across, right? Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later.